Good morning, children. Let's start up with the biology lesson. Okay, I hope you can remember what we did last week. We studied about the animal cell last week and the components of animal cell. That you can see my screen that the animal cell is visible over here. And I hope that you can remember the functions of each component. So just reminding you as a recap before you move to today's lesson, each component of an animal cell. Okay, so just reminding you first the huge spear shape structure, we call it as the nucleus, and all this watery part inside you have in light blue color, we call it as the cytoplasm. And you know the cell membrane around the animal cell, there's a membrane, we call it as a cell membrane. And in an animal cell we get many mitochondria, and these are the basic structure of an animal cell, right? So then last week we did about the functions of the animal cell, then we learned about the plant cell, and we went through certain quiz questions and answers, and I hope that you are thorough with the animal cell. Okay, so then you have, these are the key components of animal cell. They have given you nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane, mitochondria, and all those structure. Okay, so let's move to the today's lesson. Okay, under today's lesson, we are going to learn about some specialized animal cells. You know, animal cell, they have divided into several cell structures. So you have some certain types of specialized animal cell. So we'll go through some key points of these animal cells. So under this lesson, we are going to study the specialized animal cell that have components that allow them to complete a specific purpose. That means under this lesson, we are learning each animal cell has a specific function. So, what are the specific function of this specialized animal cell? And the next key point, we are going to study the examples. What type of animal cells we are going to learn today? So, we are going to learn today the red blood cell, the sperm cell, egg, nerve cell, muscle cell, ciliated cells, and villi. So, you have about 6 to 7 animal cells to study under this session. Okay, nothing to worry. One by one, we'll go thoroughly. Little by little, we'll start studying each structure. Okay, let's move to the red blood cells, right? Okay, so red blood cells, right? You can see the picture, red. It says it's red blood cells. So definitely it should be red in color. Okay, now we'll move to the red blood cells. Red blood cells carry oxygen around the body. Yes, because of red blood cells, we get oxygen. Red blood cells is red blood cell is the cell which carries oxygen around the body, which is needed for respiration. Yes, the energy, the respiration is done because we have the red blood cells. So for this respiration, for transporting oxygen, red blood cells has specific function, and it is suited for it, and it is adapted to do these functions. They have certain adaptation in their cell. Okay, so red blood cells, how they are carrying out oxygen? Because they have hemoglobin. That's a very important word. We call it as hemoglobin. Just if you click that, they'll tell you what you mean by hemoglobin. It's a chemical which is present in red blood cells, in which oxygen binds to be carried from the lungs to the rest of the body. That means it's a chemical which helps oxygen to bind up, and this is the one which, the red blood cell is the one which carries the oxygen throughout the body, right? So they say it carried from the lungs to the rest of the body. Yes, true. Through respiration, we are getting oxygen. We are inhaling oxygen and we are exhaling carbon dioxide. So we are inhaled oxygen is going through our lungs. So from through lungs, through the red alveoli, likewise it comes to the alveoli, and through that it goes to the red blood cells, and through red blood cells it is transported throughout the body. There's a huge process. We can learn about that process under respiratory system, but you don't have to think complexly. You don't have to think much. Just you have to remember under this lesson, red blood cells, it helps to carry oxygen. and it has a structure. It contains a chemical called hemoglobin, which helps them to carry oxygen molecules. Then there's another important part in red blood cells. You can see there's no nucleus. Inside there's no black color spear shaped dot or anything. So they don't have a nucleus in their structure. That is because it allows more space to carry oxygen. So we need more and more oxygen to get energy to do our day-to-day work. So it allowing oxygen to bind. They allows more oxygen to bind. So due to that, they don't have a nucleus. Next one, they are flat disc shape with the dips on both sides. Biconcave, they have a shape, it's a flat disc shape and it is dips in both sides. It's biconcave, right? It's like a concave shape, right? This gives them a large surface area and the best chance of absorbing as much as oxygen as they can in the lungs. So all these shapes are to carry out oxygen. So these are the three things it is suited for. They contain hemoglobin, they don't have nucleus, and they are flat disc shape, right, with dips in both sides. So those are the points in the structure. Next one, we are coming to the sperm cell. Okay, sperm are the male sex cell. You know, male and females are there. So males, they have sperm cell. So they are made in testes after puberty. Yes, when they come to a certain age, when they come to like teenage, right? This from the testes, there are sperms producing from the testes. They join with an egg cell during fertilization. Yes, there's a process called fertilization. So after a sexual intercourse, when semen is released to the female cervix, to the cervix, many sperms are entering the female reproductive system. So what is happening? This sperm cell will be going and joining with the egg cell, right? Then after that, they'll form an embryo. Embryo means this egg cell will keep on dividing into further cells, so that we call it as an embryo, right? So from that embryo, a new life is produced, right? Okay, we'll see what are the features that sperm cell has. It has a tail, moves them towards an egg cell. Yes, you know, semen is a liquid. Semen is liquid, and when you come to a female reproductive system, cervix and inside the female reproductive system, you have water structure. So due to this tail, they can swim through the female reproductive system very fast, and tail gives them kind of a easy locomotion that helps them to swim faster towards an egg cell. Then many mitochondria release energy for movement. Yes, you know, you can see the structure of a sperm. You have many mitochondria in the middle, you know, tail, and you have here the head is there, the body, and the tail is somewhere here. So you have in the middle part many mitochondria are there. It helps to release energy, and this energy helps them for fast swimming and for locomotion. Next one, part of the tip of the head of the sperm called the acrosome releases an enzyme to digest the egg membrane to allow fertilization to take place. Yes, you know, in the head part, in the corner of the egg, there's a structure called acrosome. So this acrosome contains some kind of enzymes, right? So when it get attached to the egg cell, this acrosome starts to melt and enzymes will comes out. Enzyme will be released. So when enzymes are released, the egg membrane will get digested. So that they can go inside. They can go inside and they can uh, fuse with the nucleus of the egg. Egg's nucleus and the nucleus of the sperm will get fused together. So that we call it as the fertilization. Right. The haploid nucleus. We'll see what is haploid. Haploid means the cell which contains half number of chromosomes. You know, when there's fertilization take place, egg cells nucleus and sperm cells nucleus should fuse together. So half of the chromosomes and half of the chromosomes from the egg cell, half of the chromosomes from the sperm cell will get fused together, right? So haploid means the cells which contain half number of chromosomes, right? So the haploid nucleus contains the genetic material for fertilization. Sperms are produced in large number to increase the chance of fertilization. Yes, as I said you, when semen is released to the female reproductive system, thousands and large number of sperms are released to the female reproductive system, right? Sperms. The which sperm which is faster in swimming and which has more energy and which is very quick will get fertilized with the egg cell, and it helps to produce a healthy, uh, healthy baby development. Okay, students. For today, we have learned about two cells, right? So those are the red blood cells and sperm cell. So when you talk about the structure, red blood cells, there's no nucleus, contain hemoglobin, flat disc shape with dips in both sides, or as biconcave. So these are the structures. The next one, sperm cell. So you can say a tail present of a head and a tail. Then many mitochondria are present. Why mitochondria are present? To give more energy, right? Then tip of the sperm, you have acrosome, which contain a kind of an enzyme which which digest the egg membrane. And next one, sperms are produced in large number, right? So those are the special features in the cell structures. Okay, that's all for today. By next week, there are about 2-3 cells to learn. We learn that by next week. Okay, thank you, children. Thank you for participating.